Hey guys, Ron from Ronald Rohde Law. Today we're going to be talking about investing in multifamily in 2022. Have you ever thought about investing in multifamily? Are you concerned that the asset class is overpriced? Watch this video to learn 5 tips why we believe it's still not overpriced and how you can make money in this fantastic class. All right. Are you considering investing in multifamily? But if you're worried that the price per unit has just scaled to unobtainable highs and you're worried about how you can still make money, we're going to go through 5 reasons why there's no better asset class than multifamily. So first, as a definition, I'm looking at multifamily beyond kind of that traditional lender. A lot of lenders will define it as 5 units or more versus a 4-plex is still residential. I still don't really consider a 5 unit, an 8 unit, a 16. That's really not quite multifamily. You know, I'm envisioning much more scale. So probably starts around 40 units, maybe 50. And this is where you start to get a lot more efficiencies. The sizes make more sense for on-site property management. And just generally, that's about the starting point for price and number of units to be considered really commercial multifamily beyond just a technical definition. So with that out of the way, what are the top 5 reasons, okay? All right, so we're gonna run through really quickly, the 4 reasons. And I'll put this list and I'll just leave it up here, but number 1, people, place. They always need a place to live. People always need a place to live. And this is just always universal that if there are people, if there's population, you need a roof over your head, people need shelter. And so there's always gonna be demand for multifamily housing. Number 2, if we're in a growth economy, and this is more of a macroeconomic approach where we look at 2 different viewpoints. Do you think the economy is going to grow, or do you think the economy is going to decline? So that's number 2, is in a growth economy, we have new household formations, which is roommates separating and getting their own place. You have kids who are moving out of their parents' basement, that's the millennials, as well as you have new people moving in. And anytime you have population movement, that creates a disruption of housing as well, because if they're going to eventually buy a house, they may rent for a year or 2 first, and then they buy. If you have people who sold their house and are leaving, they may rent for a year or 2 before leaving the area. So all of this leads to growth economy, demand for apartments. And let's talk about the second scenario. Number 3, we have downturn economy. That's like a recession, depression, that sort of thing. Let's say we have a recession. Maybe we have a little bit of a depression type economic situation. People are going to be downsizing from their houses. They're going to have a larger footprint, say in a 3-bedroom, 2,000 square foot house. If one of them loses their job, they may sell that house and downsize into a 3-bedroom apartment. And again, this is the opportunity. Anytime you have movement, so in a down economy, people are going to move from single-family detached homes into apartments. They also may downsize within the apartments. So let's say you look at a market, if there's a ton of Class A units, we're talking luxury apartments with your own built-in bartender and dog walking services and the dog showers on the first floor, those people are paying $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month. They may downsize in a recession to a more reasonable, modest apartment, even within the same building, or they may change buildings. So reason number 3, recession economy still leads to demand for multifamily apartments. Number 4, rents due. We love this guy over here. Pay rent first. Every person that I know of, you always think of your housing costs as priority number 1 to get paid. Because if you don't have a roof over your head, you don't have anything. I mean, you really don't have stability, you don't have rest, you don't have a place to prepare food, collect your thoughts. And anybody who's working, you really understand that mentality of pay your rent Pay your rent first and then everything else. I understand if they have $0 coming in, they can't even pay anything. But if they have enough money to pay expenses, rent is going to be that first priority. And that's a very strong reason, as opposed to some other asset classes like retail or hospitality. They may not have this same ability to pay rent, not like multifamily, where it's a very strong motivation for people's personal living space. Number 5 is a wide range of product. Finally, this is reason number 5. Stay tuned. I'm going to give you a bonus reason after I wrap this up, but reason number 5 is there are so many opportunities to make money in multifamily. You know, if you've read all the news, if you follow all this eye-popping data on multifamily, new construction starts, more luxury housing coming, you know, in Dallas, Fort Worth, there was something crazy like 44,000 units of multifamily coming online with 45,000 units of absorption. So even with all of this concern about, am I going to get priced out? Is there going to be more competition in my neighborhood? There are ways to find sub-asset classes and sub-markets within all of these areas that I'm talking about, and you can find the building to execute your investment plan. So if you want to do value add and raise rents, you want to paint the building, you want to clean up the carpeting, absolutely, you can find a property to buy and do value add. It may take a long time, but you can find it because there's just so many apartments in so many different neighborhoods that all fit different types of investment plans. On the flip side, if you have money right now and you're just looking for a safe place to park it, if you want to hedge against inflation, if you want the tax benefits of direct real estate ownership, you can buy a stabilized cash flowing asset. It can be Class A or it could be Class B. It doesn't matter because multifamily, if you want it, multifamily's got it. So many different products, all ages of buildings, types of tenants, the employer base, and then location. You have apartments everywhere. Even if you go to some of the smallest towns in America, they may have 1 or 2 small apartment buildings, 60 units, 80 units, and they only have 1 or they have 2, but that's one of the first buildings that gets built in any small town. So I'm not saying you have to go to a 1 apartment town, but you can look at Lubbock, Texas. You can look at Amarillo, New Braunfels, you know, Waco, Tyler, all sorts of different markets outside of the big 3 in Texas, which is DFW, Houston, Austin, maybe San Antonio. So, this is going to wrap up this video. You know, multifamily is an incredibly broad asset class. You have Class A, Class B, Class C, value add or stabilized product. So many types of apartments out there to fit your needs. Contact the law firm if you have any questions. If you're submitting an LOI, maybe you're submitting a PSA, we can help you work through that, as well as reviewing title, survey objections, and reviewing your leases. It's critically important that you have a lawyer on your team that understands your goals. So smash that like button, drop a comment down below with the properties that you're looking for, and subscribe if you like the content. We'll see you next time. Number 6, I give you this bonus one, and that's going to be pick the right location. And what I mean by that is just because you have all of these factors that are true in the macroeconomic sense, a lot of your deal success is going to come down to the individual property that you choose to buy. And even within that too is going to be the right state, the right city. And for that reason, I like to give a plug to Texas and Florida. These are 2 states that I'm licensed in. I have a lot of experience investing as well as representing clients. No income tax, right? Zero income tax. And it's a warmer state, so they don't have snow, you don't have the ice problems, and it's really just seeing tremendous population growth. So if you choose a multifamily property in these 2 states, I think you're just going to continue to see rising population and greater demand for apartments in these 2 areas as new transplants move in. Remote work is here to stay. It's going to continue in some hybrid or full-time capacity. People are going to want to live in low-tax states if they can work remotely. Big plug for Texas and Florida. And again, pick the right location. It can really determine all of your success beyond just the macroeconomic factors.